Good morning, fellas. Today's Saturday, March 28th, 2026. And I see Hidden G2N is saying, hello, what we doing? When start? Well, we're starting now. We're getting started right now. Here on a nice Saturday morning. It's a little cold outside. It's actually pretty chilly outside. Let me do this really quick. It's actually fairly chilly. It was I was trying, so I set up Gemini with I have all the Google Home devices, like the speaker. You can say, "Hey Google, do this, do that," and so they recently released some update or something where you could connect it up to Gemini, and so I did that, and so I've been having deep, long conversations with it. But I hope everybody is having a great weekend so far. I figured I would just pull up in here and then just, I don't know, let's just see what kind of trouble we can get into. Somehow I have just disappeared the terrain. I don't know what I did. I literally just came here to, wow. What did I do? Okay, I'm going to quit and I'm going to restart Unity and see if that fixes it. Apparently, Unity 6.4 support release is now available. So I'm sure Matthew will be upgrading ASAP and bringing along with it every other thing that needs to be updated, because God forbid you actually let the code sit for a month without updating the engine behind it. I got some nice espresso, which I know you guys would never see me drink. I don't think you have, at least, but I enjoy my espressos in the morning, and this is my last one of the day. And then, of course, I'm going to chase that down with a Diet Pepsi. Okay, the terrain is still disappeared. Oh. File may be corrupted or was serialized with a newer version of Unity. Oh, my stars and garters. This could be a thing. So, oh, my stars and garters. Oh, my stars and garters. What do I do? Oh, my heavens. And the problem, oh my gosh, I wish Matthew was here to help me with this. Let me just see if I can do this, though. I don't know if this is going to... No, wait a minute. Wow. So I had to add the terrain. I had to, okay, all right. I don't need to panic. I don't need to panic too much. Okay, so, wow. If Matthew was here, I would bother explaining, but nobody else is really going to understand, so I won't bother explaining too much other than that I'm hoping I haven't foobarred this branch. Let's see. So what happened was... I was just like this morning, I was just kind of like just literally just painting some roads and fooling around with the terrain a little bit. And then I went to go check it in, and I needed to add the terrain to the large file system, the Git large file system. And now, but when I did, okay, all right. Okay. So we at least have the backup. If like all else fails, we at least have the backup. Let's see. I'm really curious about like what broke here. Like what has gone on here? It says it's corrupted, but I don't know that I want to believe that. If it's still corrupted, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the terrain.asset file from the previous commit and just kind of plop that into this commit so that we don't lose everything. But this is a bit unnerving, to say the least. This isn't exactly how I wanted to start out my Saturday morning. Not that I'm just starting my Saturday morning, mind you. I got out of... I slept well, for everybody who was asking. I managed to get a good night's sleep last night. I fell asleep right around 11:30. Okay, this is encouraging. But yeah, I fell asleep around 11 or 11:30. And then I didn't get up until 6 o'clock, almost like 6 o'clock on the dot. Okay. As you can see, I have, okay, this is working. This looks like it's working well. Okay, perfect. So, I think I wanted a road that goes over to this little flat area here, but I think what I need to do, is there a way, I wonder if I can do it with gizmos. I would love for there to be a way to kind of show like a grid on the terrain so that I can more easily see the levels of the terrain. So let's ask AI about that. Maybe the AI has a solution. In Unity, I have a terrain, and sometimes it's difficult to see the heights of the terrain. Is there a setting that will show some grid lines in order to, oh my gosh, I still have the issue of focus keeps getting stolen. That has started happening again. I've tried to ignore it, but it's been getting on my nerves a lot. I always forget what task it is. I think it's something to do with, no, it has to do with, what is it? Windows remote login. What is it called? I forget what service it was. And I'm going to have to hunt down that. I always like, I know I have the exe installed that will trace what has focus, but I always forget what the file is called. Let's look at types. Application, no. No. A long time ago. Okay. Here we go. Focus logger. I'm going to load that up, and it's going to be, it's every now and then, if I remember, I'm going to put it over here. I'm going to clear it every now and then. Okay. So that will show some, in order to see the heights more easily. Let's see what AI says. Unity does not have a single built-in checkbox to overlay a grid on the terrain. Okay, adjust scene view grid visibility, increasing opacity in the grid in snap overlays. Okay, how can we do that? Ask. What do you mean? Of course, I asked AI. I'm just asking AI now. I'm asking AI. Are you talking about asking AI? Don't you fucking dare tell me to ask AI about what's stealing focus. All right, just don't. But okay, use overdraw wireframes. Wireframe mode. I feel like wireframe mode's what we want. Increasing opacity in the grid snap. In the grid in snap overlays toolbar, usually at the top of the scene, click the downward arrow. Grid in snap. I don't know that I have that toolbar activated. Edit preferences color. Change the color. Edit preferences color. Let's see. Edit preferences colors. Okay. Okay, there it is. Grid right here. Okay. And we'll just get something obnoxious. Okay, perfect. I did some map-related vibe coding already this morning. Have an ink encoding job running for Southeast Alaska while I'm out running errands. Excellent. Okay, let me see. Increasing opacity in the grid snap overlays toolbar. Where is this magical toolbar? Have to run into the store. We'll be in and out while doing stuff. All right, man. I'll be around. I'll be around for a little while at least until I can get this figured out. I want to know what this magical toolbar is that he's talking about. Oh, wait. Okay, wait. Here's something. Huh. All right. I think I'm just going to have to make do with what I have. So let's go down here. All right. No, not that one. Maybe we'll do this one. No, that one makes it very easy. There's not enough contrast, or the contrast is messed up. This, I think, makes it a little easier to see the contours a little bit. But it would be great if, okay, In the Grid and Snap Overlays toolbar, window, layouts, panels. No, I don't see it there. I don't see it there. Click the downward arrow next to the grid icon and move the opacity slider to make the lines more distinct. Oh, wait, maybe, okay, let me look at these. Grid and overlay. Let me see. Toggle, 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 toggle. No, okay. What about wireframe draw mode? All right, not quite. That's a little, looks like a little overkill. All right. All right. Well, actually, I think this is very similar to what I want. I do question why there's like these blocky areas there, but I think this is pretty good. Maybe. Yeah. So I've just been doing some chill terrain editing this morning. But I did realize that the zone functionality I added is actually very conducive to the go-to functionality that we have in the NPCs. So I think that will work out great. I need to wire that up. All right, so basically what I wanted was I wanted a road to go over to this other beach over here, right? And it needs to snake along a little. It needs to snake. We need to make some of these areas a little flatter. All right, here we go. Let's see. Environment, terrain. I think we're just going to set height. I think that's a good brush strength. What the hell am I even talking words? Okay, I think what I can do is brush size. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Actually, let me make it a lot bigger. All right, so we're going to make it like this. This entire area will be mostly flat. Okay. See, can't you imagine this just being a nice little friendly drive? A nice friendly drive. A nice Sunday afternoon. Pack the family up into the station wagon. We're gonna go to the other side of the island. Let's go over to the other beach on the other side of the island. Come on, kids, hop in the car. Let's go. And you just hop over and you make the 10-minute drive to the other side of the island. All right, let's see here. But then again, there really aren't cars in this game, right? So the families are like, well, actually, it's a good question. Like, what kind of transportation system do I imagine in this world that we're building? Like, I don't know. I figure there's some type of rail, or there's ship, right? There's obviously sea travel in the game. All right, let me see. Paint texture. Here we go. Then we'll make this big. So obviously there's some type of oceanic travel. but then on land, like goods are going to have to go from one side of, they're going to have to go from point A to point B essentially. So how do I envision that? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Just going to do a little bit of terrain editing here. Okay. And then I think what's going to happen is we're going to have the road. So what I do with the road is I just put the brush strength up to, I'm going to do it max. Oh wait, that's set height. Okay. I want to do paint texture. Okay. Brush size is going to be the minimum, which is 13. And then we're going to use this. Now I would love to get that black material from Matthew, but until I have that, this will have to do. Okay. Right, see like how this is mostly flat, and then I could picture, okay, that's the pier. So I could picture this road right here. Let's actually do this. God damn it. Okay. Okay, so we have this road coming from the pier, and then I really don't understand what the check mark does, but I think we've had that conversation before. Okay. Is this painting? No, that's not the... Okay, see, I'm getting this texture is too large. So I want to, I don't think this texture is too large. Is it? Okay, is it this one? Huh? When did these textures become too large? All right, clear this. Okay, let's get a big brush size. Let's paint everything. Like, let's kind of erase, right? Not quite erasing, but whatever. Oh shit! God damn it! God damn it, Unity! It undid my terrain changes. So remember how I just sat here and I just flattened this stuff? It undid that because I was messing with the undo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, we'll do this. We'll do this. I'm going to do set the height. So I'm going to do control click. And now, okay, perfect. All right, here we go. Because I want to like hug the land. I know it's a different type of map than you're working on, but I'm enjoying being able to take chart data from Noah and reprocess it for my app, but with my choices for sprites, legends, and stuff. Yeah, I've been doing that with, well, it's in a similar spirit, right? With this world I've been building, like this program here. So the goal here, if you like maps, I think I've talked about this on this stream, but if I have your attention for a minute. So this... Like, this is the game I'm writing. This is the world in which the game takes place, although the entire game takes place on this little island up here. But that's neither here nor there. But like my dream for the map system, or for my dream for map development, right? Because if you're like me, like it sounds like you're kind of like me in the sense that you really enjoy maps. I love maps. Like I like making maps. I like looking at maps. I've loved maps my entire life. I always have. So I've been using QGIS. I don't know if you're familiar with it or not. I'm going no judgment on you. I'm just going to assume you're not because most people aren't. But QGIS is this open source, just this like I think it's what OpenStreetMaps uses in order to create in order to like edit and create their maps. And then of course it's open to anybody can use it. So what you see here at Yanorra.world, YANORRA.world, This is literally just a JPEG, right? And then I'm using a program called Leaflet, and like to talk about like AI. Like this website, like this is like 97% AI, right? I mean, I've guided the AI and I've had to fix the AI and like you make changes and everything, but this website is pretty much entirely written by AI. So I'm not against AI. I'm not. It just needs to be used correctly. Anyway, so these are static images, right? And you can kind of tell that because like if you zoom in, like it's static images. So, but this is a temporary placeholder. What I have here, this is more along the lines of what I want. But in QGIS, like you can have things like the label, like the size of the labels change as you zoom in, and you can also zoom in you can zoom into a 1-to-1 ratio, which is extremely zoomed in. And then you can do all kinds of things with like layers, and so eventually what I would like to do, like I have a CI/CD pipeline already built to some extent. So this website, if you go back here to the wiki data, like the text, all this text data, this is in one repo, and then the website itself is in a separate repo. And then I have a CI/CD pipeline that builds it all together and deploys it automatically. What I would like to do eventually is have it so that I would like to hook the map editing into the CI/CD system as well, right? So that like if I come in and I want to like just for giggles, right? Like if I want to go in and I want to start working on a street map for this town called Gate Thurin, I could go in, I could draw my roads and some highways or whatever, and then I commit my code, push it to GitHub, and then the CI/CD pipeline takes that, generates the leaflet data, and then boom, it's suddenly viewable on the website. So that's my vision for this, but it's going to be tricky because like this is how I've been able to create basically a web page with this data. I haven't spent a lot of time with it. Like actually, why is it yellow? Oh, it's yellow because what's highlighted. So yeah, QGIS is pretty cool. And so if you're doing stuff with like real world maps, I know, for example, like I imported, let me go back over to QGIS, because like I wanted to understand what, I just realized I'm missing something in here, but I wanted to understand like the size of my world compared to Earth, right? So like I have a layer for Earth, so you can kind of like do an overlay, so you can see that like, you can kind of see the size of the continents in my world. And then there's a whole backstory I'm not going to get into, but I'm realizing that part of here it is. No, wait. Okay. Woof. I was scared there for a second. So you see these worlds on the left and right. Like those are continents that like haven't been discovered in the story. But no, QGIS is pretty cool. Then you can like do where is it? Yeah, you can put it on like a globe model, so you can actually get an even better idea of what it looks like. I find this kind of thing neat. There's that, but I originally started using this program called Asgar's Fantasy Map Generator, it's like QGIS. Let me load up my map for the world I have. It's like QGIS, the program I just showed you. Yeah, we'll just load this one. It's like QGIS, except it's simplified. It's very simplified. Like, so this is like binome data because that's what I was working on. So like I actually do have my binome data in QGIS as well. I think I just have that. Yeah, I just had that layer turned off. So, but QGIS is extremely powerful, but it's like what professionals use. Whereas this program, Asgar's map generator, like I think it's more of it's a more intuitive, and for lack of a better term, it's a more dumbed down version of QGIS. It's still damn cool though. I think this is still like, and you can see like Asgar's map generator. I'm trying to show it to you now. Borders, icons, provinces, and labels. Where are labels? Labels. So you can see that like this is what. Basically what I did is I took a screenshot of this and I put it into this. So this this map is literally just this. It's the same thing. Anyway, but like I said, I have an entire vision that I want for like QGIS and everything. So that, like I could like be chilling downstairs and just like, oh, you know what? Let me just kind of draw up a map of this town and like, you know, make random like changes. Like, okay, I think today I'm going to do a map of I don't know, Hawanti. And then I just go and then, you know, obviously it needs to be cleaned up and stuff. But I think that'd be really cool. And then, like, I would love it if the level of detail, so this is the website, I would love it if the level of detail was like Google Maps. Like, I would love, like, obviously this would be, I pictured this as something that, like, I would be working on, just like building this world. Like I've always been interested in world building, and I could literally, I imagine this being something like in 15 years, 20, like 15 years when I'm like 65 and like hopefully retired and hopefully still alive. But like, you know, cause I've at that point, the way I imagine it is that I've built up these cities and towns and roads and this world just gradually over 15 years. And then it just grows and grows. Anyway, very interesting. Got to drop for a few. Auto parts store, then Lowe's next door. All right, dude. Talk to you in a bit. I might be here. Might not. We'll see. We'll see. If you behave. All right, let me get back to it before I got on my, I got a little animated there. All right. Because I love maps. I love maps. Okay. So let me get back to this. And what I would love for this, I don't know if you're still there, but like this, like in here, I would love for somehow like automatically when I make a change to this terrain, it generates a map that gets imported into QGIS, which then gets like, you see what I mean? So I would love that. I would love that. Anyway, that is the dream. Everybody's going to come over here. I would like to know, okay, let me save this and let me actually, let me commit this. All right, just in case we screw something up. So I'm going to commit my changes. Saving some terrain changes before I try to experiment with some tools. All right. All right, it's going to take a minute because it's a large file. Okay, so what I'm interested in fooling around with, okay, let me see. So I'd like to, so transform, pinch, what is pinch? Okay. There's one called smooth, I believe. Like smoothing effects. Slope flatten, sharp peaks, maybe slope flatten is what I'm thinking of. So flatten areas while maintaining the average slope. Okay. So let's see. If I do this, let's make this brush size a little bit bigger. We can make the brush, we can up the brush strength, brush strength. Okay. So wait a minute. Let's undo that. Yeah, I don't like that. I think, yeah. Okay. Paint holes. Ugh, I don't want that. Okay. Erosion. Hydraulic, thermal, and wind. Sculpt. Noise, terrace, clone, and bridge. Effects. Slope, flatten. This is the one I was just looking at. No, what I would like is a tool, because they're like, I've seen tools, and I'm sure you have too, where you click one point, you click another point, and then it slopes. It just creates a nice smooth slope from point A to point B. Of course, you define point A and point B. Let me see. All right, let's see. Set height. Ah, that's ugly. Like, I feel like this needs to be a little... so let's try this slope flatten along here. Okay, that actually works really well. I mean, it's a little strong. Let's make it a little bit bigger, actually. Okay. But I want to raise the height a little bit. But instead of actually just explicitly raising it, let me take this and then make the brush a little bigger. Ugh. Brush strength, not 0, but I want to make the brush a little weak. And then I can scatter it too, right? I can do a little scattering. Let's see how that works. Okay, I think I need to make the brush a little stronger, so let's go up to 0.5. That's better, but let's just go to 1. Let's just go back to 1 and see how that was. I don't know. The scatter, I feel like I want it to be smooth now. Where's the smoothing? It was one of the effects, wasn't it? Smooth height. All right. I don't want it flat, but I do want it smooth. Let's raise the terrain a little bit. But I want to make it a little bit bigger. Okay. Let's increase the strength. Why is it not raising anything? Wait. Raise and lower terrain. All right, let's just do this. Okay, so that's doing what I want. So if we have a caldera here, like, and you can see that this side of the caldera is very worn. So I would think that, like, you would have a smooth sloping down to the ocean. Oh God, I added a bunch of like little shit stains. All right, so okay, let's do this. Or wait, let's do effects, slope flatten. Let's make this brush big, right? Like, I'm thinking even a little bit bigger. Oh, wait, that's brush rotation. Okay, and then we have no spacing, no scattering. So let's see how this goes. Right? So I'm trying to, like, get it to kind of slope down towards the water in this direction. As though, you know, like way back. Well, let's look at some. Aren't they called calderas? Caldera's volcano height map. Let's just look at a couple of these. right? You see how like they have like these grooves, and I guess that's where the lava flows out and it kind of carves into the terrain. That's a pretty common characteristic, it looks like. Okay, let's see if we can recreate something like that. If we can kind of draw it. So it has pretty steep edges on the inside. And then, let's see, calderas in Google Maps. Or no, Caldera. Do I have Google Earth installed? I don't. All right, let's just look up calderas in Google Maps. That should be fine. Yellowstone caldera. Isn't Yellowstone like the largest volcano in the world? Let's see, caldera. Hawaii. Hawaii has a lot of volcanoes. That looks more like a butthole. Let me see. Let's look up. Volcanic islands. Or is there a list? Habitability. I just want a list of volcanic islands. List of volcanic islands. All right. Peter One Island. Where is that? I have got to pee. I'm going to go do that. I'll be back in a bit. All right, boys. Let's see. Let's just close all this. Ah, gosh darn it. I closed the wrong tab. I want to look at islands I've never heard of, like Kerguelen Islands. I've never heard of those. Have you heard of those? I've never heard of those. Maybe we should download Google Earth while we're at it. But wait, I can just actually just do it in the... Well, how is the Google Earth support on Windows? Maybe it's fine. I like there, like Google Maps on Windows versus yeah. So like on my Mac, so Google Maps on Windows versus on Mac, I can zoom out and get a globe view on Google Maps for some reason on Mac, but I can't do that on Windows for whatever reason. All right, yeah, I said it right. Okay, let's I want to see like a caldera. It's telling me like Caldera Manufacturing Group. Okay. What are some volcanic islands with oh my God, I can't spell. Prominent calderas. Let's see what we have here. Okay, Santori. Okay, Krakatoa. Aren't the kids saying crack? Like, hey, you want to crack? Have you cracked lately? Okay, let's see what we. Oh, this is a nice one. Hmm. Oh, my stars and garters. Come on. Come on. Oh, this is nice. I like this one. Oh, that's like what we want, all right? Like that's beautiful. That is a beautiful island right there. And look, it's in a lake, and the volcano has a lake, and it has an island, and does this island have a lake? Okay. Anyway. But this is a very nice looking volcano. Not Sure is in the house. Good morning, Not Sure. How are you today, sir? I think Not Sure should move into my house. I think he should. I think he should move in. Ugh. All right. But so let's see. So why can I not tilt this? There we go. Very steep slopes coming down. Are you renting? Doing well. Are you renting? I mean, you want to move in? Maybe. You still looking for a room to rent? Like, do you mean, am I renting my own home? Like, am I renting in my living situation, or am I renting out? Like, I'm not sure which question you're asking exactly. Okay, so the interesting thing is that there are several of like these very distinct ridges that kind of come off. So let's see if we can kind of recreate that. And then the calderas always seem to have like one flat side or like one open side, right? Like this. And that's probably where you probably have the initial explosion from which the lava bursts and then it rolls out. Are you selling your home? Are you selling your house or planning to rent it out? Probably sell it at some point, but that's still like a couple years away. So, I don't know. Are you willing to pay? Let's just say, since we're friends, I'll give you the friend discount. How about $7,500 a month? I think that's fair, honestly. If you ask me, I think that's fair. How in the world would you get these ridge lines? Where in the world did Unity go? I'm looking at the, like when you alt tab and it shows you all the open applications. I'm looking on, there it is. So that alt tab dialog, it shows on this monitor over here that you guys don't see. And I'm like, where the hell is it? The Advanced Terrain Editor has those stamps. I'm using the Advanced Terrain Editor. So Stamp Terrain. Projects the shape of the 3D mesh or brush mask onto the terrain. Hold Control plus scroll with the mouse wheel to change the stamp height. Hold Control plus click to subtract the mesh. Hold C to rotate the scale. Oh, so I'm curious. Okay, control, hold control. Hold control plus. Interesting. Okay. So anyway, I think I'm just going to do the set height option. That seemed to work pretty well. If we make the brush size really big, we kind of stamp over here, and then I think we can oh wait, maybe I want slope terrain, right? Like actually that was the one I wanted. Slope terrain. Slope flatten. So I can just do that. But we don't want it to be like super flat. Let's actually make let's see what we can do. No. And then I want to get rid of all of these little puke islands that I accidentally created. Okay. And then I think maybe I'm thinking about this too hard. But okay, so Not Sure has sent me a link. Let's see what this is. Terrain Tools 5.32. I'm pretty sure I have that, right? Like it's talking about hydraulic erosion. So if I go here, I'm pretty sure I have those things, right? Erosion, hydraulic erosion. Now, how to use it, that's a different story. Alternative, select the terrain. Okay, select the terrain tile to bring up the terrain inspector. In the terrain inspector, click paint terrain icon and select erosion hydraulic from the list of terrain tools. All right, I'm with you so far. Hello, I'm Vicky with BR Interviewing, conducting a public opinion survey. Oh, God. You know what? I want to take this public opinion survey. Okay. Here we go. I have changed the URL. I'm going to anonymize the URL a little bit more just to bring like XX. There we go. Oh, that was interesting. I changed one letter. Okay, wait a minute. So okay, let me change this to Q. Okay, let me change this to A. The link that they gave me, it ends in an O. So if I do UROS T, I don't want to use O because that's how they're going to identify me. But P seems to work, but that's so close to O. I'm like, wait a minute. Are they going to? Okay, what if I do S here? No. Okay. All right, let's just go with this. Continue. Okay, are you registered to vote in Virginia? Yes, I am. Which best describes you? Race is a spectrum, you bigot. Okay. Virginia is holding a special election to amend the state council. Okay, I heard about this. Are you absolutely certain to vote on April 21st? I should be in town, so yes, we'll probably vote. The official ballot question for the special election reads as follows. Should the Constitution of Virginia be amended to allow the General Assembly to temporarily adopt new congressional districts to restore fairness? No. I like how they word it. To restore fairness. implying that what currently exists is unfair. So they're already like there's framing, like this is very and like I don't like I'm not saying that one way or another is fair. Like maybe it is unfair right now and we do need to restore fairness, but how do I know that it's not fair right now and what they're suggesting will create unfairness? So this is very just this is very bad language. And is that the exact way that the bill is worded? I mean, because imagine like a law, like do you support? I'm trying to think a law to. I can't even think of an example, but that is, oh my God, that is grotesquely worded. What a horrible wording of a bill. I'm going to say no, because no, I don't want fairness. If the redistricting amendment passes, do you think it will help Democrats win more seats in Congress, help Republicans win more seats, or it won't make a difference? I'm going to say it will help Democrats. Is one reason for your vote to oppose President Trump or support Trump, or Trump is not a factor? Trump is not a factor. In general, what do you think is more important? That Virginia's congressional districts balance out other states that were drawn in favor of one party? No, balance out, reflect political. It's not about balance. I remember once getting into an argument with Joe because there was like, this was like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And it was talking about like Puerto Rico becoming a state. And he's like, well, the only way they should be allowed to do that is if they bring in a Republican state too. And I'm like, no, like the process of adding states to the United States does not mean, well, you got to balance it out. You got to make sure it's balanced. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. Oh, Jesus, pisses me off. If amendment passes, Virginia would have 10 out of 11 congressional districts in which more people voted for Democrat Kamala Harris and Republican Donald Trump. Do you think this would be an unfair representation of Virginia's political preferences? Unfair. Across the United States, you know what? Never mind. According to the United States, which party is handling the redrawing congressional district lines fairly? Neither party. Do you approve or disapprove of the way Donald Trump is handling? I'm going to approve strongly. More Donald Trump. Do you approve? Or I'm going to also. I'm going to throw them through a curve. I'm going to throw them a curveball by strongly approving of Trump and strongly approving of Spanberger. That's going to. Overall, do you think Spanberger's views on most issues are too liberal? Or let's see. I'm going to say that they're too conservative. Do you think Spanberger's policies will make Virginia more affordable? It will make it less affordable. But remember, I approve of her. I was hoping there would be some more freeform. Thinking about, oh my God, how long is this? I'm just going to do won't make a difference. I was hoping for like a free text input. I'm not even going to read these. All right, never mind. I'm done with this. Okay. Yes, not sure is telling me to focus. I will focus. Okay. So maybe I bring the rims up a little bit and then try to like scale it down from there, like to slope it down. Oh, but wait, let's look at this. The hydraulic erosion tool simulates the effect of water flow. Oh, thank you, Not Sure. That is perfect. Like that's literally what I wanted. I swear, sometimes this Not Sure guy, he's all right. But that Matthew guy, whoa, let me tell you a thing or two about Matthew. Whoa, that guy's a real piece of work. I'll tell you that. Oh, let me send the link to my friend Stefan. All right. There we go. All right. Yeah, no, that Matthew guy, woo-hoo, what a piece of work he is. Okay, set height. Raise or lower terrain. You got to tell me what Matthew did. No, he knows what he did. Okay, that's a little much right there. No, what it was is I was trying to, I talked about this a little last night, how there was an issue with the zones, right? And basically, because the zones are boxes. So if I go and I just look at zone root and I look at this zone here, right? It's invisible because it's disabled, but because the mesh renderer is out, it's turned off. But if I turn it on, it's just a box, right? But what was happening is if the player is inside this box and the NPCs are outside the box, there are two steps to the NPCs attacking you. First, they need to see you, and second, then they need to actually attack you, right? So there were two issues, because one, the first issue was the NPCs didn't even see you. You could literally be standing right in front of them, but if you were inside the box, they couldn't see you. And the reason for that was that to confirm that the NPC sees you, or that sees its target, right? Because it's generically written. But to confirm that the NPC can see its target, it does all this math to make sure it's in range, it's in the field of view. And then the final thing it does is it does a ray cast to make sure that there's not a wall or something between the NPC and the thing it's looking at, right? And so that ray cast was hitting this zone rectangle first. And so because of that, the NPCs couldn't see you. So that was the first problem. Then if you could get them to see you, the way that bullets work are also with a ray cast. So you had a similar problem. They could see you and then they would be shooting at you, but the bullet itself would stop at that wall, or basically, the border of the edge of the zone box. So those were two things. And so I kind of figured, like, we were vibing for a minute there, my buddy Matthew and I, because I'm like, maybe we do this with a layer, and then, okay, yeah, what we can do is we just put the zones at a certain layer and only have it trigger with the player, and then everything else can ignore that layer, and then blah, 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 and then, like, we're talking, and then he was insisting that I do it a certain way where, like, at first I thought the layers were what made sense. And then so we got I think what happened is he got hyper focused on the layer solution. And so now you got to realize those two instances where I do a ray cast that I told you about, where NPC's looking for you and then the NPC is shooting you, those are not the only two places we're doing ray casts all over. And so now, like, I'm making these code changes and I'm suddenly realizing, like, wait a minute, now I got to go I got to go make sure all the other ray casts are working. And I'm like, and then at one point I'm just like, no, this is a bad solution. This is not the solution I want. There's something going on. And he's insisting, like, no, this is how it's done in Unity. You got to trust me. And I'm like, no. And then I ended up being right, as I always am. So, but I love you, Matthew. Like honestly, like, this game would not be nearly as far along as it is today if it wasn't for Matthew. But sometimes, but I think what it came down to, and I talked about this on the stream a little bit. It's like there was the red flag. The red flag was when you have a solution for a specific thing, and now suddenly you have to go changing things in unrelated parts of the code in order to compensate for that solution, even if they're not even like, what does the inventory UI have to do with the NPCs shooting the player? Nothing. But I'm looking at a raycast or whatever, like that kind of thing. Like they're not related at all. And so I'm like, no, this is a huge red flag if I'm making code changes and parts of the code that are unrelated, and I'm making multiple changes. And the other smell for me was that, like, oh, this is now going to have to be something that I keep in mind whenever I'm doing a raycast. And I was like, no, that's a bad solution. It's a bad solution. And it ended up being a bad solution. So, but I think that's one of those things that, like, I remember talking to one of my, this was a couple of years ago, and there was this young guy, you know, he wasn't junior, he's a very mid-level developer, and he had a tendency to over-engineer things. And I was like, you know, and he said, like, how can I tell, like, when I'm over-engineering something? And I was like, you can't, like it's, I was like, you're not going to like the answer, but it's literally one of those things that only comes with experience. And that's like what last night felt like, or the couple nights ago, it felt like my gut was screaming at me like, no, this is not a good solution. And I think the reason it was is because of like the reasons I laid out, but those are things that come with experience. It's just like experience is very vital to anything, not just programming, to anything you do. Anyway, don't worry, junior programmer Matthew will get there soon enough. If your code isn't breaking, then you're not developing. It's true, but you know, you shouldn't have to change you shouldn't have to change 35, like, okay, I'm exaggerating. Let me be more honest. You shouldn't have to change like 8 files for a solution that required you to edit 2 files, right? Like, of course, there's exceptions to every rule, and there will be times where you have to do that, and that's what makes the most sense. This was not one of them. And I just knew it wasn't. And I'm like, no, something's wrong here. Something's wrong here. Okay. Okay, so the hydraulic thing, okay, this looks ugly. I want to smooth this out. Did the music stop? The rain's still going, but yeah, the music stopped. Let's get some other music. You should use bigger stamps to make the edits look more realistic. Okay. So stamping what? So let's try, let me see. Am I saved? I just want to make sure I'm saved. I'm saved. And I'm going to stage this in case we need to back out. Okay. So let's go to the erosion hydraulic, but where did that website go? Did I accidentally close it? Okay, here it is. Be right back. All right. It's got some nice parameters. Oh, shit. I was doing this up here. Yeah. Okay. So I think what I want to do is I want to try and like have a, so if we go back to the other, like this, no, not that one, like this, see how it's like nice and like it's level, right? Like it, the peak of the caldera is a very level peak. So this is not, how can we get that? How can we get that kind of effect? I think actually to be contrary to not sure, I think actually what I want to do here is have a smaller brush size, maybe like 25, right? And then we can do a set height. And then we map the height like right here. Oh, no, here. And now that's the height that we kind of want, right? So I need to increase the brush strength. Oh, God. Oh, I've got tons of scatter. That's why everything looks like crap. Okay. So let's try this now. Okay, wait. Let's go. Let's redo the set height. Why is it lowering? Oh, okay. It does make sense to lower there. Let's try making it bigger. Okay. That's kind of it's actually kind of close to what I want. It's just not as wide. Even better. Let's go down to 30. No, let's go to 20. Okay, what happened? Okay, let's go up to 30. Yeah, I'll flatten that out in a second. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw these edges. Just going to do a little edging. RTFM. I don't know what RTFM means, but let me look at your link. Sharpen. Ooh, sharpen peaks. Ooh. Ooh, this is what, you know, sometimes, like, I really hate reading documentation, but I love the people that do it for me. Okay, how does this work? Let's read it. Okay, use the Sharpen Peaks tool to sharpen peaks and flatten terrain. Okay, select terrain. Okay, parameters. Oh, that didn't help me at all. Okay. I really love terrain editing. I do. I really love it. Let's just do set height and then set it here and then no. Set height here. Okay, here we go. Alrighty. Speaking of dirty Englishman, where is that dirty Englishman? What's he doing? Why isn't he here? What's more important than hanging out with your bros? How do you feel about procedural terrain and world building? I like it. So if I go back to the world here, like, I have dreams of, like, oh, what if like, where the hell is it? What if I didn't have to store any model data and it was all procedurally generated? Like, not just this map, but like the cities too. So anyway, how does Unity save the terrain? I'm sure it's probably just a bunch of vectors. Like, all these data are just points, and it, like a three-dimensional point, and then there's probably some ordering. So it's either vectors or the what's the other word I'm looking for? Polygons, but that's not the word I'm looking for. There's another word. Is it a single file? I'm sure it is. I mean, at least it is. It's a .terrain file. So let's take a look. Now you got me curious myself, but it is a .terrain file. I'm going to go to Ubuntu because I find Ubuntu easier for just finding certain things. Come on, Ubuntu. Come on. There we go. Oh, geez. Having that issue again where remote desktop, MSRDC. That's what keeps fucking stealing my focus. I just want to kill the process. All right, let's see. If remote desktop is running, maybe if I just remote access connection manager. I'm going to suspend this. I want to see if MS. Why can I not search by like file name? Can I not search by file name? Command line? Okay, this is close. Okay, it's going to be C program files, WSL, MSRDC, WMSL. It is a. That's right. I remember looking at. Okay. I got to stay focused. I'm not sure. Why don't you keep me focused? God damn it. All right. Okay. So find. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to look for a .terrain file. I'm pretty sure it's a .terrain file, but let's, okay, so we have several. Let's find one that, like, where I'm actually familiar with the terrain. Where is mine? Okay, well, let's narrow this down a little bit. Oh, wait, I can do iname for case and sensitivity. Really? Really? What's the name of this thing? Okay, terrain 0. There it is. There we. Oh, it's a .asset file. Okay, my bad. Okay, so it's in game terrain. I'm curious. Okay, let's load up code. Game terrain. It's because I'm not in Windows. I thought it was a .terrain file for some reason. Where was it? It was an assets, game, terrain. Oh, that's going to be huge. 175 megs. Let's see how Visual Studio Code does. And we're going to do this with a hex editor. So this looks like some record definition. It's funny. It's all in C. This looks very much like C code. But this just looks like a struct, right? Like this is image content, bytes. And so this is probably... Yeah. And then here's the actual data. 16 byte aligned. 8 byte aligned. Yeah, there's nothing. Oh, what's this? Terrain data. Okay. Oh. A lot of empty space. Because I mean, I guess it's storing all the a lot of asset information in there too. Anyway, there's a height map in there somewhere. Yes and no. It's done by virtue of vertexes again, right? So if you have a byte at, I'm sorry, if you have a point basically at 0, 0, 0, and then you have the other one is at 0, 1, 0, and these are connected, you know that this line, this draws a line, right? This draws a line that is one height and size. You're just going up one. So in a sense, yes, there's a height map, but the height map is, I would say that there's not a height map in there as much as a height map is implicit by the data in there, if that makes sense. Okay. All right. I got to stay focused. Stop distracting me, Not Sure. God damn it. All right. Let me see. All right. Here we go. So, okay, let's try the hydraulic sculpting thingy. No, erosion. That's what we want. Okay, so let's just try that and see what this looks like. Oh, that's a very, very steep wall. Maybe instead we want to first do slope flatten. Oh, God, no. That's a little much. Ugh. Hey, baby. Yeah? Are you going to want lunch soon? Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting hungry too. All right, I'll wrap up in a little bit after I yell at Not Sure some more. Okay, I just want to see this hydraulic thing, and then okay, let's try the hydraulic erosion. Let's see what that. It's right here, but save me some. Yeah. Okay. Simulates the effect of water. I mean, I guess. Okay, well let's try the peak one. Where was the peak one? Sculpt. Effects, sharpen peaks. Let's make the brush size bigger. I don't know why today I've had trouble saying the word brush. Let me do, I can do an unlit. Ugh, that makes it harder to see. You're killing me, Smalls. You also have trouble saying drawing. No, I don't. I say drawing perfectly. Apparently I say the word parse incorrectly. Parsing. Oh, yeah. So I say parsing. I say it with a Z. I was trying to remember like why it's different. So I've always said parsing. Like, oh, you got to parse that file. Oh, it's not parsing correctly. Whereas other people will actually be like with the parsing. It's not. They're parsing. Like, shut up. Shut up with your parsing. And I don't have trouble saying drawing, English boy. I want to know how this... Okay, not sharpen. I want to do the hydraulic erosion. I don't know. Let's just make up this and then... Don't know why you put an L in there. All right, shut up. Go push your baby in your pram. Get the pram out of the boot of the car. God. And then be sure to take a bumper shoot because it might rain. People. Jesus. Okay. So I have messed this up a lot. Is there any way I can get this brighter? Like, I like this view. I just want it to be like insanely brighter. And I don't want it brighter necessarily in the game. I just want it brighter for the editor purposes. So, I mean, I know it's unlit draw mode, but this is the kind of contrast I want. This is a little, well, let me see. Oh wait, I had it in wire draw mode, which I liked. I think the wire draw mode was helpful, but it's a little too, I need more contrast. Is there no way to just modify? Okay, whatever. All right, I want to delete some of these. Let me just do this, make the brush strength, and do this. Yeah, I'm gonna head out soon. I think I have errands I need to run. I want to go to Lowe's. Oh, I was Mr. Handy. I fixed all by myself, and even with I didn't even need the help of a YouTube video. I fixed, like a big boy, I fixed the toilet handle. Yep, that's right. I fixed the toilet handle. I know, complicated work there. Complicated work, but I did. I fixed it. I didn't fix it. I replaced it. Toilet handle is good as new. As good as new. All right. Set height. No, I want to smooth the terrain. Slope flatten. So that's like an average, right? Yeah, that's nice. Like, I would like this view a lot more if I could just make it a little brighter. Matthew, how can I do that? You can't, of course. Why would you? Why would they allow you to do that? Why would they? Contributors and receivers. Ugh. Okay, how do I turn that off? I guess I can just click here. I feel like Addy needs to go outside and touch. I go outside every goddamn day, motherfucker. That's it. Ban him. Would you ban Will Tyler? AI, ban Will Tyler. Ban him. Okay, this all started because what I wanted to do is I wanted to create a nice little road that just went over to this part of the map. So let's go ahead and do that, and then I'm getting the hell out of here because you ungrateful people. I feel, you know what? You guys, I'm banning all of you. I'm banning every single one of you. Set height. But before I ban you, be sure to click and subscribe and go ahead and hit that super chat button. Go ahead and hit that super chat button. All right, let's see. Set height. I just left Lowe's with a truckload of mulch for my mom's flower bed. Wow. I need to do some stuff with my yard. And I was thinking about actually like going out in the yard today because it's like chilly, but it's nice and sunny, which is a good day, but it's actually really chilly outside. So I don't know. I might not. All right, so let's see. Okay, no. I went lower. Let's do effects. Let's do slope flatten, which kind of takes the average. It does exactly what you think it would do. Okay. All right, I'm just going to create my nice little causeway. Let's do this. Let's make it a little bit bigger. And then I think to get rid of some of these ugly bumps, you know, it looks like the terrain has herpes. Let's just come over here. There we go. Not that I would know what herpes looks like. But, yeah, let's come over here. What is not sure sharing? What should I have for lunch today? You know, since my birthday, fuck, I never got my McDonald's last night. And I will pass at McDonald's on the way home. As a YouTube moderator, can I ban the person streaming? No. It's a good day to be outside. Yeah, you're right. You know, I might just go ahead and like I said, there was some stuff I wanted to do in the yard, and let's see, 39 degrees. It's a little chilly, but if you're in the sun, it's probably not that bad. No, I have errands I need to run. I got this new phone. So I have to go back to AT&T to return my old phone because it was a trade-in. But I want to see, since it's only been 4 or 5 days, no, whatever. I want to see if I can exchange this, because this is the Samsung S26 Plus, which I thought when I was in the store, I thought the Plus, I'm like, oh, it probably means like more RAM, more storage, something like that's where my mind went when I heard Plus. No, it means size. So this phone it's not that much bigger than my old phone, but it feels humongous, and I don't like it. I'm intimidated by it. So I want to try and get a smaller one because, you know, like, there's nothing wrong with the smaller ones. So, you know, don't try to shame me. Don't try to be like a size king, a size queen out there. All right, let's see. Let's set the height and lower it, right? Like, I want to delete some of this stuff like in here. It's 50 degrees here according to my truck. That's freedom units for the English. Absolutely. Yeah. Like, what is up with these commie units? Okay. Stop using communist units. That's why, Matthew, you need to stop using the communist units. That's why your country's falling apart, because you're using communist units. No. Instead, you got to use the freedom units. Taco Bell does sound good. The problem with Taco Bell, though, it's like the fullness of Taco Bell does not last very long. I feel like I could have Taco Bell and then I'm hungry again a half hour later. Oh, shit. No, I didn't want to do that. Okay, so basically what I want things as you get closer to the center of the island. I want the elevation to go up, and then I want it to flatten as you get towards the edge of the closer you get to the water. Let's make this bigger. And I'm going to, I know it looks a little, you know, drawn with a mouse right now, but I'm going to take care of that in a minute. I do like how there are some strips. Okay, let's actually make this smaller. I hate Samsung phones. I like Samsung. I refuse to get an iPhone. I have an iPad that I love. I know I'm streaming on Windows, but I mostly use Macs. I love my Macs, but I will never get an iPhone again. I will never just. I'm sure they've gotten better than when I had mine, and it was a fine phone. The problem was the difference between in my experience between iPhone and Samsung. It's like an iPhone is for people who need training wheels, right? Like, oh, you're new to the internet and you don't know how to use computers. Here's an iPhone. So like that's what it feels like to me, using an iPhone. And I'm not a fan. Whereas Android, they give you a little more, you have a little more control over everything. Yeah, Android I just think is better. Pixel is greater than Samsung. Is it? I don't think I've ever used a Pixel. I'm not against it. It's just, I use my phone. What do I use it for? Like, I'm home all the time. Like, I just use it for like WhatsApp and like scrolling Instagram when I'm on the toilet. Like, that's pretty much all I use my phone for. Gotta unload the mulch. See you later. See you, Will Tyler. Yeah, I'm going to tap out in a minute, too. Let me just draw a road, and then, you know what? Nah. Let me... Yeah. Okay. I think this is good. This is good. Use bigger stamps. For what? What are you talking about? Okay, like... No. I think I kind of want to... Oh, no, not that. It makes the terrain look more natural. So I'm going to try the erosion with hydraulic again, and then I'm going to... Okay, is this make you happy? Let's increase the brush strength. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble saying brush. And drawing, okay? The word has always been drawing, like drawing. Like, what do you say? Drawing? It sounds like a little kid with a lisp. Mommy, can I do some drawing? Like, what is that? No. I bet you Not Sure has the L in drawing. Like, don't you? Like, Not Sure. Be honest. You say drawing. I am positive he says drawing. It's probably an American versus British thing. And the last time Britain tried to go up against America, we saw how that ended. So it's drawing. I don't think that's right. Are you talking about my my awesome drawing skills? Yeah, this is... I feel like the island needs to be like, if I go in here, let's just do this. The brush. Yeah. Well, what should the right brush be? Let's go back to that. Go to erosion, hydraulic. Like, we could use this. Like, it just is smoothing out, right? So that's the biggest brush there is. Okay, but where? Okay, hydraulic erosion controls. Simulation scale. I'm just going to pump this up. Yeah, it didn't really do much. What if I go to advanced? Let's go back to 25, so we don't lose our baseline time interval. Oh, do I have to hold it down? You need to load a brush pack. I have a brush pack loaded. And you never answered the question about the word drawing. You never answered it. Simulation scale. Let's see if we can find a video really quick. But how do you say it? I'm not asking you how to spell it. How do you say it? He says drawing. You do not say drawing. You do not say drawing. I promise you, you do not say drawing. Drawing. I'm going to go drawing. Oh, this is Sarah Safari.
Hey guys, Sarah Safari here. Lupita, you better set your ass.
I've always found her a very attractive young woman. Okay, let's see. Erosion hydraulic unity, erosion hydraulic brush terrain. Let's see. Let me mute.
The next form of erosion we're going to look at is hydraulic erosion.
All right.
Which is really all about water's effect on your terrain.
Okay, get to it.
Flavors being fast, full, and velocity. Fast is by far the simplest, and it's a little bit hard to explain without just clicking on it and showing you what it's going to do. It is washing away some of this terrain and exposing what is supposed to.
Terrain toolkit script. I see the erosion controls. Is there a script I need to? That looked like old Unity. I mean, yeah, of course. It's the video's 3 years, so it's not super old. But yeah, where's this terrain toolkit script? I'm pretty sure I have terrain tools installed, but let's look. Where's package manager? There it is. Package management, package manager. What is it? Terrain toolkit. I might not be looking in the right place. Let's just do terrain toolkit Unity. No, let's go to the asset store. Okay, do I want McDonald's or do I want Lido Pizza? What do I want? Okay, wait. He has selected. I don't know what he has selected. Okay. Well, so wait a minute. This is what you want. Oh God. What third party crazy tool have you just sent me a link to? I don't even want to know. But let's I mean, you know, like YouTube's trying to warn me. Like I just see over here, I see like zefrillavella.com. Like what the fuck is that? Like what obscure thing is this? Oh, I thought you were, you're talking about lunch. No. This was not an option. I mean, it does look good though. I do like gnocchi. I haven't had gnocchi in a long time. Although that wasn't gnocchi. That was just regular, that's just pasta. Actually, I think I've been here. Wait a minute. Let me find something. Let me see if I can find this picture I'm thinking of. Give me a minute. I gotta go back a while because I'm pretty sure I went here like during COVID. I can't find the picture I'm thinking of. Pretty sure the picture was posted. Let's see. One more. Let me see. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute, okay? God, you people are just so impatient. Yeah. All right. No, I can't find it. But no, I'm pretty sure I've been here. I'm actually very. Is it? You know what? The map will tell me. But not that map. Let me look here. Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure I've eaten here before. I'm pretty sure that like in 2001, my wife and I went there for like our anniversary, for like our wedding anniversary. Well, our marriage anniversary. We never had a wedding. Yep. Been here. Food was good from what I remember. It was good. I wish I could find that picture. But we sat right here in the window. I feel like it was over on this side of the restaurant. But anyway, whatever. All right, boys, I'm going to check out. I'm going to take a shower, run my errands. Let me just go ahead and commit this. Some chill terrain editing. One thing that I noticed, like one thing I thought of, I mentioned this in the Discord. It didn't even dawn on me. Like when I originally did the zones, I was like, oh, I just want a way so that when you're walking along the map, the game will tell you like where you're at. But then I was like doing the dishes downstairs a little while ago. And I'm like, wait a minute. We could hook the zone system up to the go-to system, up to the entire control system, right? So if there's a zone called downtown or like I think Baker Park or whatever, like literally if you have, let's just say we have a Baker Park, you could literally that's like a predefined zone where you could tell green guy, go to Baker Park. So yeah, I didn't even think about that. Like when I designed the zones, but then I'm like, yeah, that should work pretty nicely. Maybe we'll work on that later. I'm probably going to come back. I'll probably stream later on today if you guys are around. But I'm going to try and get outside and touch some grass. We have GPS in the game. We can make 2D polygons. We do need GPS. Like, actually, that would be fun. Like to kind of tell you where to go. Anyway, no, stop. All right, boys. I hope you have a good day. Like I said, I'll probably be back later. If not, I'll definitely be back on Monday. All right. Bye, baby. I said goodbye. Bye.